Hey folks, my name's Bryon Howard, eXp Realty, and today I've been hired by the Court of Queen's Bench to sell 68 Sackville Drive. Now there's quite a story behind this property, and so today not only am I going to show you this property, I hope, but I want to share with you a little bit about real estate investing. I want to share with you a little bit about terms such as agreement for sale. I want to share with you a rent to own. Lots of times I've been asked, what are these things? What's a judicial sale? What is an agreement for sale? What is a rent to own? Can I buy real estate with no money down? Can I buy real estate even though I can't qualify for a mortgage? Well, folks, I hope to teach you here today at 68 Sackville Drive. Let me begin. Let's call her Margaret. Margaret bought this property about 2019. About 2021 or 2022, after doing quite a bit of updating, new roof, eaves trough, windows, updated the basement suite, some flooring. So 2 or 3 years after she bought it, she decided she was ready to cash out and sell it. So she put herself on Kijiji, possibly. She was a for sale by owner. Well, being a professional real estate agent and a great real estate agent, I must say, I frequently call for sale by owners because I think of as a for sale by owner as looking for a great real estate agent. So I'm really happy to help them. So anyway, let's say I call Margaret, maybe it was 2021, it could have been 2022. And Margaret decided that she should sell this property for $600,000. Well, and I decided it was probably worth that. And yeah, I can be sometimes, I can list properties a little high. None of the buyers would agree with me that it was worth $600,000. So it didn't sell after 14 days, after 21 days. So we actually reduced the price. I think we reduced to $580. I noticed we even reduced it as low as, I think, $559 and possibly $555. It didn't sell. Margaret was mad at me. You said you would sell my property. Well, in the end, I didn't. I wasn't able. No buyers agreed at that time it was worth that. So then Margaret was continuing to be like on Kijiji, and she, as a for sale by owner, is often attacked, preyed on by real estate investors and legitimate buyers too, of course. But this one real estate investor, let's call him Dave. Dave convinced Margaret, who's now a little frustrated that she hasn't been able to sell her investment property. He convinced her to sell the property to him as an agreement for sale for $520,000, well below what I could have sold it for. If I even had got the price to $550, I would have sold it for probably much closer to $550 than $525. So somehow she was in a difficult headspace. She agreed by the charm of Dave to sell her property, and she wouldn't know the terminology, but I think it's pretty much an agreement for sale for $520. The paperwork was not great. She really wasn't protected, but I think he had 3 years to pay her out and just basically pay her principal, interest on her mortgage, and taxes. And was just had to pay her monthly. And if he missed a payment, the way he wrote up the offer, no big deal, I think. I've been privy to that paperwork. But in any case, he mostly paid, often late, causing her anguish over the last 3 years. This must have been, maybe it was a 2-year term. But in June this year, he started, or actually maybe the last 6 months, he started to get a little later and later and later on payments. So she started to talk to lawyers about what she can do. So in fact, let's call Dave, he's on title. Somehow he managed to get her to switch title, which is really kind of shocking that the lawyers allow that. But she insisted that let's do this. So he's on title, but he owes her $520,000. And so at this point, she's hired a lawyer, and now it's the Court of Queen's Bench that is selling the property. Oh, one major thing. Dave, again, buying the property, say 2 years ago for $520, as an agreement for sale, meaning he has all the rights and responsibilities of the property. That's how we did real estate, let's say 50 and 60 years ago in Alberta. You agree to sell the property, agreement for sale, and these are the terms and conditions. You have all the rights and responsibilities of ownership. He he then, as a smart real estate investor, sold it to a guy, let's call him Adrian, as a rent to own. A rent to own, so Adrian comes along, buys it as a rent to own. Often the seller selling as a rent to own is often, not always, trying to take advantage of a buyer. Buyer gave a deposit. In this case, I understand it was $30,000. They would have agreed on a price. I'm not sure of the price. And he would have had 1, 2, 5 years, whatever he negotiated to buy the property. He was paying, let's call him again, Adrian, $2,800 a month, gave a $30,000 deposit. And so now today, this property is in the hands of the Court of Queen's Bench because Dave hasn't met his commitment and I've been hired to sell it. So I have agreed to do that. And today we hope to get in to take pictures, measurements, and get this property marketed at $565,000. Now I think of that as well below market value. I think the value of this home is much closer to value is worth $600,000 than it is $565. But access may be difficult. You know, the appliances on closing may be difficult to verify that they're in great order. So we have to market it at a below market value. Let's have a look. What questions do you have so far? So far we've talked about investment, we've talked about agreement for sale, we've talked about rent to own, and we've talked about this, the judicial sale. Let's go see if we can get in. So currently Adrian, I believe, lives in the basement. Or not Adrian, but yeah, Adrian. Hi, I'm Bryon.
How you doing, Bryon?
Are you?
I am not Adriano, no.
You're not Adriano.
He's down in the basement.
And do you live in the garage?
Just for the temporary. Sure. No blocks in the heights.
They live in the garage, apparently.
Can you do it in? Can you do a walk around that?
Yeah,
just
sure,
for a second?
sure. Yeah. Hey, Adriano. Hey, it's Bryon. How are you?
It doesn't work.
Come on in. Hey, man, how are you?
Not bad.
Oh, you got a doggy.
Come on in.
Oh, thanks. So, I'm Bryon. And you're the rent-to-own buyer.
Yes.
Well, it sounds like it hasn't been great.
No, it hasn't. It's only gotten worse.
Yeah, okay, good. So we're going to do measurements today and photos, and we're going to try and get it sold for $565, and hopefully you'll get some of your money back. 'Cause you put down $30,000, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. And currently you're renting the garage? People living there?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, my buddy moved from Ontario. I told him he can sleep in here, but they choose to sleep out there because it's cooler, I guess, or whatever.
Okay, all right. And we can do photos upstairs too?
Yes. I'll need to open the door for you.
And can I get keys today too?
Keys
Like
for what?
for showing it? To sell it?
I don't see that.
I can get them cut or whatever if you don't. The place looks good. Oh yeah, I remember this. Yeah, there's a kitchen.
I don't have enough keys to give you.
What a nice door. Is this your door? Or is it?
You're gonna have to. I can give you the keys once my tenant returns the keys from there.
They moved out apparently.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they still got some stuff there. I was actually in the middle, just as you called me. I was just in the middle to see what What mess? Yeah, go ahead.
Is the door open upstairs?
I'm gonna have to open it for you from the front. Yeah.
Great laundry room. Share with the upstairs.
Okay. What was I looking for? Oh, that guy's message. I guess he's coming home today.
Who is?
He's coming here today. My tenant.
We can go upstairs though, right?
Yeah, let me open the door for you.
It's a really nice backyard.
You're not afraid of dogs or nothing, right?
I'm not, no. Can we go in now?
I got two big dogs in there.
Oh, two big dogs. Giant dogs. What kind? Oh, there's a big dog, but he's a good dog.
Lay down.
What's his name?
His name is Duke.
Hi, Duke. I have a dog named DuPont. Here's a German Shepherd.
Stay down, boy.
We can go in after.
Close this door.
Can we see main floor first?
Yeah, we're gonna do that right now, but I have to open the front.
I get it.
Yeah, there you
Come
go.
on, Duke. This is
So this is the lockbox. I'll put this right here and we'll get a key, right? For showings?
What's that for?
That's for showings?
Oh.
To sell it, right?
Yeah.
We gotta make sure that like other cooperating agents can get in, because we want to expose it to the entire 1.7 million people at Calgary and all the. Oh man, this would be great if it was cleaner.
Well, this here was given to me, the carpet was the way you see it's the way I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a few things that my tenant's gonna have to clean up.
Are they planning to come back to clean?
Pardon?
Are they coming back to clean?
Oh yeah. It's coming back here today. Where does this come from? I didn't know even my vents bother people. Wow.
Well, it's a good thing they moved out. And the cleaner this can get, the better chance we'll be able to sell it and get your money back.
Okay.
So we're doing pictures all here. So, kitchen. So we're,
I don't know if the tenants are coming to take this fridge.
okay. It's not,
There wasn't a fridge here.
oh, there wasn't a fridge, okay.
No.
All right. And can you help me understand a little bit? So just, I'm having a lot of fun trying to understand your situation as the rent-to-own tenant.
Okay, so what happened was I was in Ontario,
Yeah,
okay? And before I went to Ontario, I found this guy on Facebook.
yeah,
He didn't get back to me until about, I'd say about 6 months later.
yeah,
And he describes himself and everything else. So I
Yeah.
go back into my Facebook and I look on who the hell this guy is, what did I text him about?
yeah.
So I seen the house.
You seen the house?
Like I seen the pictures.
And you
right?
bought it sight unseen as a rent-to-own.
Yeah, but he gave me a video of the whole house.
Yeah.
Right? He sent me a whole video. Out of the whole thing, he never once told me that in a 1-year term, I had to come up with a $500,000.
What was he selling it for you? What price?
540.
$540.
At the time.
Yeah, which was what, 2022?
Yeah, give and take.
Okay, and you bought it with a $30,000 deposit,
Down payment.
$2,800 a month,
2692.
plus what, plus taxes?
Plus, I gave taxes, and the insurance was an additional 441.
441.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
don't know
closer
how
to-
much-
closer
I
to
don't know how much
3,000.
is each, but both combined.
Yeah,
was
it's
that.
closer to more than 3,000 a month you're paying.
Yes.
Okay, and then you moved in, gave him the money, and you had no idea it was a 1-year term.
No.
And you've been here for how long now? More than a year? 2
Yeah,
years. 2 years.
almost 2 years.
And he didn't tell you that you failed. That you basically failed in the contract.
Yeah.
And so he's held your 30,000.
Yeah.
And that's actually called, did you know it was called a rent to own is what you did? Did you know that? That's what it's called. So you were buying this property as a rent to own, but the seller, the rent to own seller, was really taking advantage of you because he gave you this contract and didn't tell you only had 1 year. So what happened is
See, I did the same thing with my tenant in my mobile trailer, but I was honest with her.
Right. You
I
helped
told
her. Yeah.
I said, you have the reason why I'm doing 1 year, so you understand, it's not for you to come up with the $100,000.
Yeah.
It's to give you the opportunity to get yourself a mortgage,
To get in order.
or get yourself situated,
Your life in order.
But I was straight up with her.
Yeah.
These guys didn't tell me shit that I had to come up with.
And you never thought to ask.
Like, I got a winning lottery ticket, I want to wear them.
Right. You never thought to ask, like, what is the term, right? Because you didn't know that there was, you didn't think
No,
of that.
because what I thought I was signing for, it was a renewal of the mortgage.
Yeah.
That's what I thought I was signing for. Not an additional different contract where I had 1 year to come up with.
Did you actually think that the guy was like legitimate banker or something? Like, did you know he was just a real estate investor? And I guess obviously you didn't think he was taking advantage of you.
Well, I'm going to be blunt with you. The guy that actually owns this property,
Yeah.
I never dealt with him.
You dealt with someone else?
I dealt with his partner.
Okay.
So I'm not even really so mad at him as I am with his partner.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do is we're going to try and sell this. Like currently, I've been hired by the Court of Queen's Bench.
Yeah, I know.
And-
I'm fully
and-
aware who you are.
And right now, the woman who originally sold this property to
Which
these
is my
people,
banker.
Yeah, you're a banker, I guess. She sold it for $520, and she was taken advantage of too in terms of the terms of the contract.
Yeah.
But in the end, she will most likely, get paid her full amount.
Yeah.
And I think this property is worth closer to $600,000 than it is $550.
I've already signed a contract with Dustin.
Yeah.
And my lawyer did it, and we've come to an agreement. As long as I get what I am supposed to get, which is around $20,000.
Yeah.
I
You'd
don't
be happy.
care. I'm happy.
Well,
Well, I hope he gets nothing.
Well, I hope that I'll sell this property for enough money that you'll get your $20,000, but that's not sure. So the cleaner this is to show, and the more able we are to show it, the better chance we'll get a higher price to get you that $20,000 back.
Okay,
and
well-
maybe even $30,000.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay. And I'm not sure of all the details of that.
That won't happen.
Okay.
As long as I get my 20 grand, because that's all.
Okay.
Because it doesn't seem like I'm going to get a penny more.
So what happens next is we're going to get this place shot with photos and everything. And if you could just actually clean this up a little bit to hide this stuff behind the door and stuff. We're going to do the measurements, the
I
photos.
guess I can shove this shit in the closet.
Yeah, that would be helpful, as just for photos, and then we'll start to do showings, and we'll see what the Court of Queen's Bench will be looking at offers as soon as I get them. So, without further ado, let's get to work. Woohoo! We do a little tidying. Photo time.